was flying through empty space. I was free and wild, making so much noise. But nothing was making sense, although I thought I saw it all. Time was stretching thin, felt myself starting to fade away. Then your gravity pulled me in with so much space to fill. Never moved this way before. Couldn't let you carry on. It's musical gravity. It's musical gravity. It's musical gravity. Gravity. And I will become something new when you give yourself to me, and I give myself to you. There'll be no end to the love we'll receive. It's only you alone with me in our galaxy.
Seen perhaps, or at least have read in the paper, the story of the 7 wonders of the world. We do know that these 7 wonders, whether anyone recognized it or not, were the 7 wonders of the 7 planets. Now let's see how that worked out. We'll consider the wonders of the world. Remember now the key words of the 7 planets in astrology. Saturn, the ancient symbol of death. Among the wonders of the world, the mausoleum of Halicarnassus, the great tomb, built in memory of the dead. The next one, Jupiter, with the planets. The Olympian Zeus, one of the 7 wonders of the world. The next one, Mars, fire. The Pharos of Alexandria, the great lighthouse. The fourth one, the sun, Helios, the Colossus of Rhodes, the great figure of the sun. pyramid of Giza, sacred to both Hermes, the master of the mysteries, and the moon, temple of Diana of Ephesus. These were the seven wonders of the world. Diana, goddess. So every one of the seven wonders, built by different peoples at different times, were by some strange circumstance dedicated to a different deity, never overlapping. And these seven correspond exactly with the planet. And there can be no question that somewhere underneath that there was an intent or design of some kind. Again, your septenary, and all those great remains, those great monuments of antiquity, only one remains, the Great Pyramid of Giza. The others have vanished in the waste of time. We know their places by legend only. We believe that part of the old ruins of the hanging gardens of Babylonia may exist, but we are not certain. So here again we have what we call the pentacles, or the magical devices, the great creative septenary. And it would show an ancient knowledge of astronomy, and will also have revealed the mysterious fact that these various nations and peoples of different beliefs and of no great friendliness among themselves had all united to adore the seven powers of the soul. And each had chosen a different one, and each had chosen the one that was related to his own religion, showing that at that time there were seven of these groups, each worshipping one of the seven planets, powerful enough to undertake and complete the enterprise referred to under the story of the wonder, which one of the seven wonders it may be. And out of these symbols, we come by degrees, as in the case of Mercury, to the realization that we are dealing with basic or symbolic principles, that there is a relation between the sensory perceptions of man, the races of man, the continental diffusion of human culture, the species, the types, genera of living things, all of which are capable of septenary division. The different philosophies and schools of ethics, morality, all of these great structures fit together to form one basic constant. Now in your ancient Greek music, you had the same problem. You had seven musical modes. You had the seven strings upon the Orphic lyre. You had the seven basic forms of Chinese music. And you have the septenary restated in the ragas of India, particularly in playing upon the great instrument of Veena, which is the sacred instrument of the goddess of music, of wisdom, and of harmony, the deity Saraswati. Always the same number. The Chinese name the strings of their musical instrument after the planets. If therefore this number continues and follows along as we have suggested, cannot question that the ancients held these points to be valid, that this analogy was real and troublesome to them, returning to the seven styles of architecture, the seven liberal arts and sciences, the seven sacraments, the cardinal virtues and the deadly sins, the seals of revelation, the trumpets that sounded, the lamps on the altar, and all these mysteries, always identical in principle.
There are three ways in which space travel will bother me if it reaches the stage for which most people are hoping. The first is merely sentimental, or perhaps aesthetic. No moonlit night will ever be the same to me again if, as I look up at that pale disk, I must think, yes, up there to the left is the Russian area, and over there to the right is the American bit. And up at the top is the place which is now threatening to produce a crisis. The immemorial moon, the moon of the myths, the poets, the lovers, will have been taken from us forever. Part of our mind, a huge mass of our emotional wealth, will have gone. Artemis, Diana, the silver planet belonged in that fashion to all humanity. He who first reaches it steals something from us all. Secondly, a more practical issue will arise when, if ever, we discover rational creatures on other planets. I think myself this is a very remote contingency. The balance of probability is against life on any other planet of the solar system. We shall hardly find it nearer than the stars. And even if we reach the moon, we shall be no nearer to stellar travel than the first man who paddled across a river was to crossing the Pacific. This thought is welcome to me because, to be frank, I have no pleasure in looking forward to a meeting between humanity and any alien rational species. I observe how the white man has hitherto treated the black, and how, even among civilized men, the stronger have treated the weaker. If we encounter in the depth of space a race, however innocent and amiable, which is technologically weaker than ourselves, I do not doubt that the same revolting story will be repeated. We shall enslave, deceive, exploit, or exterminate. At the very least, we shall corrupt it with our vices and infect it with our diseases. We are not yet fit to visit other worlds. We have filled our own with massacre, torture, syphilis, famine, dust bowls, and with all that is hideous to ear or eye. Must we go on to infect new realms? Of course, we might find a species stronger than ourselves. In that case, we shall have met, if not God, at least God's judgment in space. But once more, the detecting apparatus will be inadequate. We shall think it just our bad luck if righteous creatures rightly destroy those who come to reduce them to misery. It was in part these reflections that first moved me to make my own small contributions to science fiction. In those days, writers in that genre almost automatically represented the inhabitants of other worlds as monsters and the terrestrial invaders as good. Since then, the opposite setup has become fairly common. If I could believe that I had, in any degree, contributed to this change, I should be a proud man. The same problem, by the way, is beginning to threaten us as regards the dolphins. I don't think it has yet been proved that they are rational, but if they are, we have no more right to enslave them than to enslave our fellow men. And some of us will continue to say this, but we shall be mocked. The third thing is this. Some people are troubled, and others are delighted at the idea of finding not one, but perhaps innumerable rational species scattered about the universe. In both cases, the emotion arises from a belief that such discoveries would be fatal to Christian theology. For it will be said that theology connects the incarnation of God with the fall and redemption of man. And this would seem to attribute to our species and to our little planet a central position in cosmic history which is not credible if rationally inhabited planets are to be had by the many. Older readers will, with me, notice the vast change in astronomical speculation which this view involves. When we were boys, all astronomers, so far as I know, impressed upon us the antecedent improbabilities of life in any part of the universe whatever. It was not thought unlikely that this Earth was the solitary exception to a universal reign of the inorganic. Now, Professor Hoyle, and many with him, say that in so vast a universe, life must have occurred in times and places without number. The interesting thing is that I have heard both these estimates used as arguments against Christianity. And now it seems to me that we must find out more than we can at present know, which is nothing, about hypothetical rational species before we can say what theological corollaries or difficulties their discovery would raise. We might, for example, find a race which was, like us, rational, but unlike us, innocent. No wars nor any other wickedness among them. All peace and good fellowship. I don't think any Christian would be puzzled to find out they knew no story of an incarnation or redemption, and might even find our story hard to understand or accept if we told it. There would have been no redemption in such a world because it would not have needed redeeming. They that are whole need not the physician. The sheep that has never strayed need not be sought. We should have much to learn from such people and nothing to teach them. If we were wise, we should fall at their feet. But probably we should be unable to take it. We'd find some reason for exterminating them. Again, we might find a race which, like ours, contained both good and bad. And we might find that for them, as for us, something had been done. That at some point in their history, some great interference for the better, believed by some of them to be supernatural, had been recorded. And that its effects, though often impeded and perverted, were still alive among them. It need not, as far as I can see, have conformed to the pattern of incarnation, passion, death, and resurrection. God may have other ways. How should I be able to imagine them of redeeming a lost world? And redemption in that alien mode might not be easily recognizable by our missionaries, let alone by our atheists. We might meet a species which, like us, needed redemption but had not been given. But would this fundamentally be more of a difficulty than any Christian's first meeting with a new tribe of savages? It would be our duty to preach the gospel to them. For if they are rational, capable both of sin and repentance, they are our brethren, whatever they look like. Would this spreading of the gospel from earth through man imply a preeminence for earth and man? Not in any real sense. If a thing is to begin at all, it must begin at some particular time and place. At any time and place raises the question, why just then and just there? One can conceive an extraterrestrial development of Christianity so brilliant that Earth's place in the story might sink to that of a prologue. Finally, we might find a race which was strictly diabolical. No tiniest spark felt in them from which any goodness could ever be coaxed into the feeblest glow. All of them incurably perverted through and through. What then? We Christians had always been told that there were creatures like that in existence. True, we thought they were all incorporeal spirits. A minor readjustment thus becomes necessary. But all this is in the realm of fantastic speculation. We are trying to cross a bridge not only before we come to it, but even before we know there is a river that needs bridging.